me, Mrs. Lapka, in the studio. Today I want to talk to you about your PrintBox. We're going to learn how to use the tools in your elementary PrintBox to make a really cool print. Let's get started. When you take a look on the inside, you're going to find a lot of really new and exciting tools. The first thing that you're going to notice is this roller. In printmaking, we call this roller a brayer. So we're going to use this brayer to apply our ink to our block. You're also going to find some ink. So this is really special ink, not like the ink you might find in an ink pen, but ink that's specific for printmaking. So this is our block printing ink that you're going to use. You're also going to have several pieces of paper that you're going to use to print your actual prints onto. So the finished work of art will be on one of these pieces of paper. You're going to have a pencil, and some really strange things like bubble wrap, which we're going to use to make some texture printing, and 2 pieces of styrofoam. These are actually your blocks. So anything that you are using to print an image from is called your block. So this is going to be our printing blocks that we're going to use. So you have the opportunity to make 2 different print images on this project. You're going to use this plastic plate to put your ink on to stay nice and clean. The first step is using our block or our styrofoam and your pencil. We're going to use our pencil to push down and draw a picture on the surface of our block. And when I do that, it's not really going to create a line with my pencil lead. It's actually going to push down and create a dent into the surface of my styrofoam. Now, I've already completed one of these. I wanted to show you my super cat that I did, and I want you to look really closely and notice that where I drew with the pencil, all of the white lines, I have a groove or a dent in my styrofoam, so you can see how it's dented down. So I'm going to do this same image here. I'm going to use my pencil to draw Super Cat onto my styrofoam. I've used my pencil to create these grooves or these dents on every part where I want to be a line. Now, everything that I make a dent is going to become a white line. Normally, when we draw on a white piece of paper, our pencil lines are dark lines on a white piece of paper. But the print you're going to make today is going to be the opposite. Everything that you didn't draw is going to become dark, and everything that you did draw is going to be white. Next, we're going to use our ink and our brayer and our plate to prepare our ink for our printing process. So I'm going to squirt just a tiny little bit of this ink onto my plate. I won't need very much. If I use too much, then it's going to squish down into my lines that I made, and I won't be able to see the picture that I've drawn. So I use just a little bit of ink. Now I'm going to use my roller, and what I want is for the ink to be even all the way across my roller. So if I just go straight up and down like this, you'll notice that the ink only gets in the middle of my roller. So I need to change directions and go back and forth until my ink is even all the way across. It shouldn't look gloppy, it should be nice and flat. If you use too much ink, you won't be able to spread it out thin enough. All right, I think my ink is ready. It doesn't look too gloppy. It looks like I'm ready to print. So now I'm going to take my plate, my styrofoam plate, and this is the magic part. This is the most exciting part when we add the ink onto our plate. So as I roll this on here, you're going to notice that I notice all of the areas that I made with my pencil are turning white. So I want to make sure that I have lots of ink on here. You'll need to go in different directions, up and down and side to side. So now I've got ink on my styrofoam block, and I'm ready to print my block onto my printing paper. So I'm going to carefully hold on to the edges here. It's nice and sticky, and I'm going to press this down onto my paper. I want to make sure to give lots of pressure. I'm gonna rub with my fingers to make sure that that ink is really soaking into my paper. Don't forget to go all the way to the edges. And then when I peel this off, you have a print of your Super Cat. One of the really fun things about printing like this is that you can wash and dry and print as many copies as you want. So you could give copies to your friends, trade printmaking with other artists, and gift as many as you want to people that you love. So I have washed very gently and dried off my printing block here, and I'm gonna do a whole series of my block here. And another fun thing that you can try is printing on different types of paper. So you could try on colored paper if you have that at home, or scrapbook paper, any sort of paper or material you have at home. You can always experiment with printing on it. Now, if you really enjoyed this project and you want to make some more blocks, you can use a regular styrofoam plate and you can carve into it with your pencil and make as many as you like with your kit. Another really fun way that you can use this printmaking kit is by finding objects, textures, materials around the house that you can print, that you can stamp into our ink and print onto a blank piece of paper to create designs and patterns and abstract art. Now for this one, I used my ink and I inked it up onto my plate, but I added just a few drops of water to make my ink a little bit more liquid and not quite as sticky and gooey. So what I'm going to do for the first part here, I'm going to use my bubble wrap that I've included in your kit. This is really great because it has a repetition of pattern and a lot of texture to it. So I'm going to roll my ink onto this. Already looks so cool. And then you can print this right onto a piece of paper. And you can do this as many times as you want. Look at that. Now, I bet that you can find all sorts of things around your house that you can try printing. Some people even use chopped up fruits and vegetables and stamp those into here and create all these cool stamps and patterns. So take a look in your refrigerator. You can use things like Cheerios or noodles, anything at home that you think you can stamp. Now in the studio, I had some shapes. I have this Japanese sumi ink that has this lid that is a nice little circle. So I could dip this lid in here. If I want smaller circles, I can use my glue stick here. And if I want even smaller circles, I could use my marker. I hope you had fun doing printmaking. I really enjoyed walking you guys through it. I can't wait to see what you guys make, and I'll see you next time in the studio. Bye-bye.